Hello, welcome to another one. I always say hello like that, don't I? I've just
I was
realized
thinking
I
I'm
always say
work
it in
today.
exactly the same way. It's rubbish, isn't it? 'Cause if you click on, you don't know which episode you're watching. Anyway, I'm rambling. Welcome to another season preview. This one is one of the big guns, one of the big six, Super League. No, we won't talk about that. We are previewing Man United. I forgot my words then. God, this has
Have
gone
you
down the
have you
pan this
done an
one.
intro for this one as well?
No,
Do
I
you want to
haven't.
introduce me? Go on.
Yeah. Joining me for this one, as always, is my ever-present podcasting partner, Alex. Save me, I'm floundering.
Let's just get into it, shall we? Omar's back. Omar, the most professional one out of the three of us.
Yeah.
Save it, Omar. Go on. We're not going to do it. How's
How you
things?
doing, Omar?
I'm not too bad, thanks, guys. How have you been? How have you been? What have you been up to?
No, not a lot.
Well,
We're
you've
just doing these, really.
how many bit 6 minutes has it been since our last
Yeah.
one? Something like that.
Busy day. Busy
Yeah,
day.
you know.
Definitely. So Omar, you are a writer for the Manchester Evening News, so you are well placed to talk about Man United. What are your overriding thoughts?
I mean, for Manchester United fans, for Manchester United supporters, even going into the job that I will be going in, I think it's very exciting. Judged upon the summer transfer window, which has just been, I mean, if you ask most United fans, they would never have expected this. Part of them would have because of the Glazer out movement, and they would have expected the Glazer family to, in response to that, to kind of give them what they wanted, and they haven't disappointed. I mean, I'm not one to kind of speak in glory about the Glazers, because I just think that what's happened at Manchester United is awful. They don't deserve any credit whatsoever. But I mean, in terms of so United went through a structural change in the midway through last season, how they recruited a football director called John Murtough, similar to what we see now at Chelsea, at Manchester City, with what they have in terms of their structure. And United have been criticised in the past for being slow in the transfer market, but this time around they haven't disappointed. We'll get into it, but I think the sign of Raphael Varane is a big game changer. Big game changer.
Let's get into it now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
not?
we've talked about it. 40 million. I know it's all to do with contracts and all this nonsense, but it does just it on the face of it, it seems like a real bargain. 40 million for Varane, which sounds ridiculous saying 40 million pounds is a bargain for anything, but it really does seem like for a player who's been there and done it all, essentially.
I think the actual overall, so United are paying 34 million pounds now, and then it's about 5 million pounds in add-ons. I mean, when you say it like that, for a four-time European champion and World Cup winner, he's won 3 La Liga titles and 3 Copa del Reys. I mean, he's won everything. I think he's won about 18 trophies in 10 years at Real Madrid, which is just the most insane thing.
It's crazy, isn't it? It's crazy.
Yeah. I just can't believe he's come to the Premier League. It's just going to be so exciting. I think he may take a bit of time to adapt because due to the physicality of the Premier League. But on paper, I think Manchester United's defence now is up there with one of the best defences in the Premier League. And I think it instantly makes some title challenges for me.
What strikes me though, well, I was just going to talk about Varane quickly. Do you think he'll adapt? Well, the question I'm trying to ask is about Ramos. Like, he's been so used to having Ramos next to him and that sort of, he's not been sort of like had the attention on him because, Ramos is the superstar, the defender, he's top scoring defender and whatever. I don't know. But do you think that's going to play in his mind, like coming to the Premier League? And I think he's going to be, next to Harry Maguire, he will be seen as a superstar defender.
I think one thing you've got to take into consideration here when you talk about Sergio Ramos is that Raphael Varane was always inferior to Sergio Ramos. Sergio Ramos was the man at Real Madrid.
Yeah, absolutely.
Couldn't do any wrong. And I think that really contributed to, maybe his decision-making in wanting a new challenge. Because I think if you come to Manchester United, if you're Raphael Varane, you're going to be the main centre-half, in my opinion. And you're going to be the star man. And I think that opportunity to become the star man, to become the celebrity signing almost, appealed to him. He wanted that challenge. And in 2011, when he when he was on course to signing for Real Madrid. He was very close to signing for Manchester United under Sir Alex Ferguson as well. And one of his idols has been Rio Ferdinand. So I think that desire has always been there. In terms of settling in, I mean, Ruben Diaz done it from Benfica. I know we can pick out loads of players that haven't settled in from the Liga, like Angel Di Maria, like Radamel Falcao. But I just think Varane's got that certain personality, that winning mentality to kind of push him forward in terms of his physicality and adjust into the Premier League. And I think if you take it all into consideration, how he will be the star man at Old Trafford, I just think he's going to absolutely thrive. I don't know about, I mean, what's your opinions on the Varane move?
Yeah,
fantastic move in my opinion.
Yeah, I think
fantastic move.
I think if he stays fit, because he's been known for his injuries. But personally, I just think what United have been crying out for, particularly watching from a neutral point of view, is that one next to Maguire, that person next to Maguire, because you look at Bailly, you look at Lindelof. I mean, they're all right, but they're not going to win either league.
I always think back to Vidic and Ferdinand, and now I feel like they've got a Vidic and a Ferdinand.
Yeah.
And this United team now, I think they are. Well, you said earlier they are challenging for a title.
Yeah,
I think for a long time they haven't been, but now they can properly say, right, we're going to knuckle down and we're going to get to a title this year.
I think personally, this is the best squad on paper for any United squad since Sir Alex Ferguson retired.
I agree. Totally agree.
I agree with you.
I just think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has done so well in terms of, building up a plan from where he was 3 years ago when he took over the job. I think a lot of people discredit him sometimes because he doesn't have the same name as a Jurgen Klopp or Pep Guardiola. And rival fans will always banter about that. But I think you've got to give him a lot of credit, especially for finishing second running up against a fantastic Manchester City team last season. I mean, as you touched upon there, it was a great point about the Maguire partnership. As we saw with Harry Maguire in the Euros, when you get a good centre-back partner next to him, he looks world-class, I'd say. I just thought he was absolutely sensational in the Euros, Harry Maguire, when he came in. And I think him and Varane next to each other, with Luke Shaw as well, who had an unbelievable Euros. Wan-Bissaka, positionally, he still needs a bit of improvement, but he's sensational at tackling.
Do you not think being next to Varane will improve him?
I think if you put anybody next to Varane, they'll improve him. So, 100% agree with that. I think the one concern at the moment for United, and this may change dependent on how the rest of the window plays out, is that centre midfield pair, Fred, Scott McTominay and Fred, that is. I love Scott McTominay. I really like him. I think he's a brilliant midfielder, but I think he's more suited to that box-to-box role, and I think he's got a lot of attacking abilities inside of him that really need unlocking. I don't think he's an out-and-out number 6. I don't think you can win a title with them two as your midfield partnership. I think if United get a central defensive midfielder in and then maybe try and get Paul Pogba to stay, then I think what you're seeing is kind of like something similar how Pogba starts for France in that midfield position. He has N'Golo Kante to support him in that midfield for France. If you get a decent CDM in there for United, I think you see the best of Paul Pogba, as we saw in the Euros.
Are we talking Declan Rice, maybe? I've heard that name.
Declan Rice, if they can afford him. I think he's being priced out of a move, to be honest with you. The names that I've seen, from what I've heard, is Camavinga from Bren. He'd be
available for relatively cheap as well.
He's got 1 year left on his contract, and they're saying he could be going for around 30 to 40 million euros, which I think personally could be an absolute steal. Because he's 18 years of age, and from what I've seen of him, I think he's going to be an absolute superstar. He could be the new Pogba, the way I've seen him play. I think he's just brilliant. Saul Niguez has been another name that has been floating about a bit, but I think a lot of United recruiting in that midfield department is dependent on how many sales they can get, how many outgoings there can be. From what I've heard, I think Solskjaer wants to keep Jesse Lingard in his plans. but I just think you need to get rid of players such as Andreas Pereira, Diogo Dalot, Phil Jones. How is he still there?
I forgot Phil Jones was still there.
I totally forgot about him as well. But I was going to ask quickly, where does this leave Donny van de Beek?
It's an interesting one with Van der Beek. I think if Pogba leaves, United will get a CDM in, but I think Van der Beek will have loads more opportunities. I think Van der Beek I think the problem with Van der Beek, right, is that when you're at Ajax, the training drills are all about tiki-taka, keeping the ball, keeping possession, tight passes in between the channels, in between the lines as well, and picking up pockets of space. With United, the way that Solskjaer likes to play is fast attacking movement, wing play, pressing on the front foot. I think Donny van der Beek hasn't been used to that. And after a season, I mean, now he's had his season, you would hope that he may have adjusted a bit. But I think he could. It depends if Solskjaer plays him as much as he could, because I still think there's a player in there, and I think it'd be deeply upsetting if he did leave in the summer. And I still think there's a player in there, and he could surprise a few. But I think it's dependent on the Paul Pogba situation, to be honest with you.
I feel like he probably would have been more suited going to City.
Yeah.
Myself, I think Pep Guardiola would have got the best out of Donny van der Beek pretty soon. I think it was the wrong move myself.
No, 100%. Well, I think one, I mean, as we saw with that Ajax side that reached the semi-finals, they had really fast wingers in David Neres and Hakim Ziyech. I think with the recruitment of Jadon Sancho, United have now got two out-and-out wingers in Rashford and Sancho. And I think that may actually help Van der Beek if he does actually play. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see how much he plays, to be honest with you. But I just hope he gets some game time. But I think the Sancho deal is a game changer as well, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I was about to come on to that. I'm excited. I'm excited to see Sancho in the Premier League. I really am. I think he's. The phrase is used too much, but I honestly think he's generational. I think his talent is unbelievable.
Really?
Ripped up and like I couldn't believe he's still 21, right?
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. I thought he was like 23.
I think
his name has been mentioned like for a number of years, so you can see how good he's been at the top level.
Yeah, I think he's got about 137 goals and assists in about 143 games in the Bundesliga, which is just absolutely frightening. Absolutely frightening. I didn't see players like Kai Havertz rack up stats like that in the Bundesliga, nor did I see Timo Werner. I mean, Timo Werner scored loads of goals, but to be a winger getting over 15 goals and over 15 assists every single season he's been there, I just think this guy could be special, so special. I think he may take a bit of time, as we've seen with loads of Bundesliga players. They do take a bit of time to adjust to the fast pace of the Premier League, because the defensive kind of performances in the Bundesliga are not up to scratch, in my opinion. I just think some of the teams are just so open in there. So I think he will take a bit of time, but at the same time, I mean, he's just sensational. Every time I've seen him, he's just absolutely brilliant. How do you guys see the signing of Sancho playing out?
Yeah,
I think
it's more or less the same. Yeah, I think it in the same way that Varane does. It just transforms the team. The way I look at the team as a neutral, particularly. The thing I worry about, and this might worry you more as an Englishman, is Mason Greenwood, because he's been out on that right, and I know he likes playing as an out-and-out striker, doesn't he?
Yeah.
But like, I really like him on that right-hand side. I really like it. So I do sort of worry a little bit for that.
Well, I think the thing at the moment with Greenwood, I mean, the signing of Sancho has helped in the sense that Rashford could be out until October with if he has his shoulder surgery.
Yeah.
And a lot of people have said, oh, it might be Martial on the left wing, or it might be Sancho on the right. I think Ollie will go for Sancho on the left because he's played on the left a lot for Dortmund. And I think he might go Greenwood on the right and then Cavani up top. And also, you've got to take into consideration that Edison Cavani is 34 years of age now. Last season, he didn't play every single game in the Premier League. He got injured a couple of times as well. I think Ollie knows that Greenwood wants to transition into that centre forward role, but I think he knows to do it gradually because he's still young. He's still only about 19, 20.
Something I was thinking, like you got, Gunnar Solskjaer, he was a striker himself, and he'll know that
placed is there.
If you have a player like Cavani in your team, Mason Greenwood's going to
learn from
benefit.
him.
Yeah, exactly. He's going to benefit so much from a player like Cavani. So I think he does know what he's doing, and Cavani's not going to be there for a lot longer, is he? So
No.
it won't be too much time before Greenwood slots in.
One player you're forgetting, Omar, on the left. Good old
Deej.
Daniel James.
Do you know what though? For all these, you mentioned it earlier, he gets criticism. I think Solskjaer has improved near to every single player in this United squad. Maguire has improved under him. Wan-Bissaka has improved under him. Shaw has become world class under him.
Yeah.
Fred has even improved a little bit. I mean, marginally, but he have.
Yeah.
Dan James has improved. McTominay, maybe not Martial, but Rashford, Greenwood. I think he's improved players. And what more can you ask for from a manager?
Yeah, I mean, he's just signed a new three-year deal with the option of extending it for another year. But I don't necessarily think that matters because I think Ollie realizes, and I think a lot of the United supporters realise that he's under a bit of pressure in terms of needing a trophy this season. I think if he doesn't get a trophy this season, I think he will go because you can't wait 4 years at Manchester United without a trophy. But certainly he's improved every single player. You touched upon Luke Shaw there. I think Luke Shaw's the best left back in the world at the moment, to be honest with you. I agree. Above Alphonso Davies, above Andy Robertson based on form. Only based on form. I think to categorise Luke Shaw in terms of better all-round ability than Robertson, I think Shaw needs to win a trophy as well. Like Robertson has, like Alphonso Davies has as well. But yeah, Solskjaer has improved every single United player in that squad, and absolute credit to him. I think, I want him to succeed like so badly. I just think if you're wanting Solskjaer out, I just don't really think you understand the traditions of Manchester United Football Club, to be honest with you, in terms of wanting to give a manager time, going back to the longevity of Sir Alex Ferguson and Sir Matt Busby as well. United like to give their managers time, and I think Solskjaer has. He's already shown signs that he's actually a pretty decent manager, better than what people take him for. I just think if he gets that trophy under his, because I think you've also got to take into consideration as well that Jurgen Klopp lost the Europa League final before he won anything at Liverpool. So it'll be interesting to see if Solskjaer follows that route. I hope he does because I think he's a really good manager and you can tell he's a nice bloke. So I want him to succeed. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. But the nice bloke comment's interesting because me and Alex have said a couple of times we feel like United are too nice.
Yeah,
we feel like United as a team have been too nice. They've sort of lost the edge. But I feel like Varane coming in personally, I feel like that is gonna throw that out the window.
Even Sancho, I feel like he's got a bit of bite to him as well.
He's a winner as well.
Yeah, he's got the tenacity, which I think Manchester United have been missing over the last number of years since since Sir Alex Ferguson left.
That nice guy, narrative around Solskjaer, part of it I think is a little bit false in the sense that he does have a bite to him, and I don't think you can be part of a Manchester United squad for so long if you didn't have a bit of bite about you. He was so successful as a player. He scored that goal in '99 to win it in the Champions League. He's won loads of Premier League titles. I think he's won an FA Cup he has won an FA Cup as well, and League Cup. So I think that obviously, and he was also part of those dressing rooms that had the likes of Roy Keane, Paul Scholes, Gary Neville, winners. I think he knows exactly what he's doing, Solskjaer. I think that nice person narrative is built upon too much because he's got brilliant man management skills, and that's what his management is kind of centered around. Because if you see the squad harmony in United, most of it is pretty good. Especially compared to what it was like under Jose Mourinho, it's a lot more calmer, a lot more chilled, and I think that's what a lot of people like about Solskjaer, and I think you can see that in his squad sometimes.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, totally.
So, are you willing are you willing to put it on the line and say, in a word, are Man United going to win the league?
No.
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 I think it might be another season.
Yeah, I think it's. I think we're getting there. We're getting there with Manchester United. I think they could do well in the Champions League this season. I don't know why. I've just got this funny feeling.
I've got a feeling as well. I've just got a really real. I completely agree with you.
Yeah, I've just got this really weird feeling that Manchester United are going to do all right in the Champions League this season because obviously the narrative around Varane, the Champions Leagues, and also if I'm going to be a skepticist, I think the Champions League this year, the final's been held in Russia. And the last time United won,
2008.
Yeah, it was in Moscow. Yeah,
in Moscow. Yeah, so I've just got that weird feeling that United are going to do well in the Champions League, but just fall short in the league. And then I feel like the season after this could be their year.
I think it's. Yeah, I was going to say a bit like Liverpool, but I think it's going to be quite interesting to see Man United and Man City really put it against each other properly. Because for the last, goodness knows so many years, it's been City. Premier League. But it'd be really nice to see that proper Manchester derby, like back, it was Van Persie was playing and Tevez and, all them years ago, 10 years ago plus. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So what are your predictions for United this season?
I more or less the same as you. I think they'll either win the FA Cup or the Champions League, potentially both.
Yeah.
But you could just never tell with a cup, can you? Because they could draw like Lincoln in the fourth round, and then
I was going to say the same thing.
Like you don't know, do you?
The cup's a funny old thing.
Yeah.
I think it will be. Obviously they'll get top four. I wouldn't want to say where because I think Chelsea are going to have a good season this year.
Yeah.
City are obviously going to do well. I think Liverpool will do well.
Yeah.
Leicester as well. I think they can have a good season. The top four is so open.
Yeah.
You wouldn't like to say, but I do see them, slipping in there. I wouldn't like to say third or second.
Yeah.
Either or for them. I think City will win it, but
I would quite like to see them win the league though.
Do you know what? I cannot stand. I was going to say I cannot stand Man United, and when I was younger, it was always United were winning this and that and the other. But just to take us back to the good old days,
I mean, it's been 8 years, I think it has, since United last won a title, and you just remember your childhood, don't you? It was always
exactly.
United. You was always United winning titles, and it'd be nice to feel a bit of nostalgia again.
How sad is that? We're all wanting United to win just for the sake of nostalgia.
So our times have changed.
I know.
Tell me about it. So if you could pick out one player as your player to watch this season, who would it be?
I'm going to go Cavani. Edison Cavani. I think I
feel like he's got a big season in him as well. I think he's got one more big season left.
I think
he's got a couple, but this is going to be the first one. Maybe next season will be the next one, and then he just starts to sort of.
Yeah, I feel like because this is his last year in his contract. Who knows if he's going to renew? I think he's going to absolutely thrive on being the main man, the centre forward, the number 7 at Old Trafford, and I just think in
front of fans as well. Don't forget that.
In front of fans, and then you've got Bruno Fernandes, Jadon Sancho, Marcus Rashford, Anthony Martial, Paul Pogba potentially feeding him creativity. I just think he's going to absolutely thrive in all of it. I just think he'll get over 15 goals this season at least.
I fancy Cavani to do that as well because I feel like when he was brought in, everybody scoffed a little bit and went, "Why are they bringing him in?" Like
I was guilty of that.
Yeah. I think we said it on the podcast at one point. We were like, "Oh, it's just going to be like another Falcao or whatever."
Yeah.
But I think he's going to thrive on the fact that like this season, all eyes are on him. Like he said, like everybody knows what he did last season. He pulled it out of the bag, didn't he, when he played? And I think this season he's that type of player, isn't he? I think he loves the attention and he'll love it. Yeah, I agree with you. Sancho is probably my player to watch though.
Oh yeah.
I feel like he's got a big season in him. I
think Scott McTominay, to be honest with you, I think he's going to have I think he will have a good season this year. I'd like to see him have a good season anyway, but we'll see. We will see.
We will. Indeed, we will. And that brings us to the end of our Manchester United season preview. Thank you, Omar. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for coming back again. Yeah.
Third appearance now, technically.
I feel famous.
On Soccer AM, where they give you the ball
Yeah.
We'll send you a match ball when
Or a mug or a t-shirt or
yeah,
hat trick.
a bag for life for any old nonsense.
Lovely. Do you want to have another opportunity to tell anybody who's listening to where they can find you?
Oh yeah, well, you can find me on The Perspective. Well, as I said in the previous one, I think that'll be continuing on for the second season, hopefully. You can find me at perspectivepod_, or you will probably find me on my Twitter at Garrick Omar. We'll be posting a lot of content from my job now at Reach PLC, the Manchester Evening News. So just find me on my Twitter and just follow me.
And if you live up in Manchester, buy the paper, buy the Manchester Evening News.
Yeah. Buy a paper. Buy
a paper. Why not?
Papers are struggling, and not many people are buying papers nowadays. So buy a paper.
Buy one.
That's the overriding message. Forget about United. Just buy a paper.
Buy a paper.
Just buy a paper.
Yeah. Thank you once again, Omar. It's been an absolute pleasure as always.
Thank you, guys.
We'll see you soon. Hopefully, I hope we'll have you back if you come back. Anyway,
definitely come back.
And thank you guys for listening. We we'll be back with another one. You know the drill by now. We'll see you soon. You know the fact I can't do. We can't do
outros. We don't know who's coming. You know what we're trying to say.
We just waffle a bit, and then I'll say, see you later. Thank you for listening. Enjoy the rest of your night. Ta-ra.